Alright, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is where I try out new foundation every single Friday on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Today we got a new one from Giorgio Armani. So this is their new Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. So this foundation retails for $40. It's Giorgio Armani, kind of what you expect, you know. But it comes in 24 shades. I have the shade 3, and there's actually one that goes very light, like it almost looks like a white shade. And I read some of the reviews from people with very fair skin, and if you've been like hardcore struggling to find a foundation that's light enough, this one looks extremely light. And then the range, from what I can tell in their photos, also goes quite deep. But their description is an ultra lightweight skincare infused foundation that delivers a natural, healthy looking glow, all day hydration, and light buildable coverage. Skin loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid and glycerin, and it says it has emollient oils. I'm gonna have to look up what those oils are because hopefully I'm not gonna break out from them, but that all sounds good to me besides the little oil bit. I'm gonna insert swatches here of the shade 3 next to some of my other foundations. I chose 3 because I kind of just went off what the description was, and also they had arm swatches on Sephora, so I kind of just looked at those and guessed, and I think we got a pretty good shade match. You'll see in the demo, but here's some swatches next to some other foundations. Okay, so here are some foundation swatches. So actually first is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 3.75. And here's the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude Foundation in the shade 3. The next 3 are the Danessa Myricks Foundation that I reviewed in a Foundation Friday. So here's number 1, number 2, number 4. Estee Lauder Futurist in 1N0. L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear in 400. And Urban Decay Stay Naked in 20NN. Before you comment, don't you worry, we zoom in for the demo part of this video, but if you're excited for this video and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. I do really appreciate it. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and Foundation Friday is every single week. I have a whole playlist down below with all of my Foundation Friday videos. I just have to show you my shirt because I'm obsessed with it. I mean, is this not the most perfect shirt? Hell yeah, Nike. Okay, so when we are starting this, it is 9:22 in the morning. I just put about an entire bottle of dry shampoo in my hair. I feel like I need about 17 of these today. My box actually came like kind of tampered with, so hopefully I didn't get someone else's return, you know? So I really like the packaging of this. I like how just basic squeeze tube, just easy to work with, you know, nothing too crazy packaging, which I appreciate. And it actually, I just noticed, snap shut, which I love. It's not a total twist, it snaps at the end. So I got the shade 3, I already told you that. So I'll start out on this side. It does say it's buildable, so let's just see how it goes. I'm confused if I'm smelling my perfume or my foundation, but I'm smelling vanilla from something. Ooh, so far looking nice. Sitting on the skin, really pretty. It just has like a kind of silky look to it, like a soft satin finish, not too dewy, not too matte. I think this shade is probably perfect for me looking at my neck. My face is totally different than my neck, and I think those match pretty well, especially once I put bronzer and the rest of my makeup on. Wow, I like can't really even see it sitting on my skin. I see my pores a little bit, so I think I would just use a pore filling primer, but other than that, it's looking just very smooth. I actually got better coverage than I was kind of picturing. I think with that amount that I used, I got about medium coverage, it looks like to me. So let's see how the coverage does with the sponge on this side. I'm gonna use my Haley's Beauty sponge. I typically get much lighter coverage with a sponge. So this side I would call light coverage with a sponge. This side I would call medium coverage with a brush. I think because the finish looks so smooth on its own with a brush, I would definitely just use a brush with this one. So I'm gonna just even out those two sides and go in with a brush so we get about the same coverage, hopefully, that I did on the other side. Yeah, I do think this has like a vanilla scent. It doesn't seem to be quite as strong as some other like Dior foundations and stuff, but it does have a fragrance. The way this is sitting on the skin is reminding me a little bit of the Givenchy Tint Couture City Balm, which I've talked about this, but this is definitely more of just like a medium coverage foundation. It isn't what it sounds like it is, like a City Balm. I think of like a light coverage dewy kind of thing. This is a super nice medium coverage soft matte foundation, and this is kind of reminding me of that. Really liking this so far. I'm gonna use the brush on my forehead since I think I like a brush better with this one. The undertone of this shade, if you're around my skin tone, I think looks neutral, but it does have like a slight yellow, which can definitely work, and I feel like almost look a little bit more flattering on me. I can kind of go different ways with undertones, but I do feel like if it's neutral with a tiny touch of yellow, that's usually what matches best. Looks good. Have a tiny bit of dryness right here today, so I'm just using the sponge and I'm gonna Smooth that out. Ooh, it's looking like plumping. I love when foundations look like this on my forehead. Even over like some of my drier areas today, it's looking really, really pretty. I think the only thing I would do next time when wearing this is put on a pore filling primer, and I feel like this one might look really good with the Talk to Silk canvas. So far, everything about this I am digging. So right now it is 9:35. I need to change my background so you can actually see the time, but it's 9:35. So to the touch, I can still feel it. Not like a tacky foundation, just like has a little bit of just like a moisturizer feel to it. I can feel it. And when I touch my face, it is transferring onto my fingers a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, see if it sets down anymore. And if not, I'll probably add just some powder right here so I can blend stuff. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. I always do a shot in natural lighting, flash test, and 10-hour wear test. Okay, so it's now 10:06 and the rest of my makeup is obviously on. You guys, I looked in natural lighting. Obviously, I've been staring at my face while I was doing my makeup. It looks beautiful. If I don't want opaque full coverage, this is like my perfect kind of coverage where I feel like I can do a full-on makeup look with the rest of it. I still see my freckles coming through. It still looks like skin, but it overall definitely adds some coverage and just evens everything out. And I'm loving it. The finish, the way it's sitting on my forehead, the shade. So far, I have literally zero complaints. I did have to powder just right here, and I also added a little bit of powder where I put my bronzer up here. But the makeup on the rest of my face, I used the Pure Bronzing Act. I always forget how friggin' beautiful this bronzer is. I used Gold Rush by Benefit for blush. This is just like a little mini one. For highlight, I just wanted something kind of subtle. I just added a tiny bit of highlight right there using this shade. This is Girl Next Door Chic Freak from Fenty Beauty. It's one of my favorite highlights. For eyeshadow, I went in with this NYX Ultimate Brights palette. This is so nice. If you like bright shadows and you're looking for a good drugstore palette, this is where it's at. And then just on my inner corner to get that kind of glitter, I used Milani Pinkaroo. For mascara, I layered the Voluminous Primer with Essence Lash Princess with Revlon So Fierce. And then for lips, I put on my holy grail, Sephora lip liner. This is in the shade 01, the Nudist. This is their gel liner. And then I put on this e.l.f. lipstick, and it reminds me the shade of a MAC nude lipstick that I love. I don't know why I haven't discovered this before now, but it's the e.l.f. I think the shade is just Cream. Super pretty light nude shade. Oh, I also tried this L'Oreal product for the first time. This is their Cake Eyeliner. I don't know if you could use this as a black shadow too, but I used it just to kind of create like a soft liner. So we'll see how that black shadow holds up throughout the day too. But that's everything on my face. So let's go see what this looks like in natural lighting, and we'll do a flash test. With my new setup, this is the best lighting for the natural shot. So sorry the background isn't too appealing. Still have nothing to complain about. Let me zoom in. It just looks so soft on the skin, like almost a little bit blurring. It does feel very comfortable on the skin. It feels moisturizing and not too heavy. Again, looks really pretty on the forehead. Really want to get my nose re-pierced. So if I could give you my other thumb that's holding the camera, 2 thumbs up so far. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. But I'll see you guys in a few hours back in natural lighting for the next check-in. Okay, so it is now 3:45, so it's actually been on for a little over 6 hours. I just got sucked into editing. It doesn't look totally accurate. It looks better in real life than what it's looking like on camera. But basically in real life, I still think it's looking really good. I am getting a little bit of creasing around my mouth, but other than that, it looks good. I feel like it looks a little bit makeup-y on my upper lip too, but everywhere else it's looking, I think, really good still. I did add some highlight on because I was filming a second video about highlighters, so I put a little bit of different highlight on. I'm looking a little bit shiny on my forehead. I don't mind it, but we are only 6 hours in, so we'll see how it looks by the end of the night. It seems to be rubbing off a little bit on my hairline, and I haven't been like touching my bangs or anything because my hair's just been in a clip while I was editing. So it's rubbing off a little bit up here, but we will see how it looks at the end of the night. Okay, the foundation has now been on for 10 hours. It is 7:36 p.m. and things have taken a little bit of a turn. Definitely since the last check-in, it has gone way downhill. I've looked at my face about 5 times throughout the last few hours, and it definitely just looks more makeup-y, and it's not looking great. Okay, the next clips you're about to see, for some reason on camera, it looks totally different than what I was seeing in real life. It actually looked worse in real life. I don't think it looks as bad on camera, so just keep that in mind when I'm talking in these next clips. It just looks very kind of textured on my skin now. It's like showing every little ounce of texture, which is the polar opposite of how it looked at the beginning. It looked like very soft and, you know, kind of blurring. And then my forehead is looking a little bit oily. It doesn't feel oily when I'm touching my face though, so I think it's just the glow. I've had my hair in a clip the entire day, so we're looking good right now. But this one definitely went downhill pretty rapidly after the last check-in. So I would say this one looked really good for about the first 5 hours or so. So if you aren't looking for like an, you know, all day long lasting kind of foundation, but you liked the initial look of it, maybe it's worth getting, but I don't know, man, it's $40. So I guess it would just depend on if that's worth it for you or not. For me, I did really like how it looked at the beginning. So I don't think I would not ever wear this one again. I would just definitely try it with the touch of primer underneath and then maybe setting spray and see if it helps the longevity throughout the day. Because yeah, I think it looked really nice at the beginning. It just didn't wear well on my skin, but foundations were totally different on different people, so this one might work amazing for you. See, you never know. Sometimes it looks amazing at the beginning and then things happen. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday and found it helpful. If you did, you can give this a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.